Hello, my name is Zach Whalen, and I'm the chair of the Department of Communication and Digital Studies at the University of Mary Washington. And this is a video about fall 2025, just some general advising notes related to fall 2025 at the University of Mary Washington with respect to the Common Digital Studies major. So in this video, I'm going to give you some quick facts related to registration and advising. I'm going to talk about some new and special topics classes that we have to offer this fall. I'll tell you about all the classes that we have to offer that fit into our major according to the requirements, and then some next steps for advising and registration. I'll also say a bit about summer 2025. So here are those quick facts. First of all, the registration appointment times. This is when you actually register. For most people, that's March 31st through April 3rd. A few people have priority registration, which starts a little earlier, as the name suggests, on March 27th and 28th. If you are registering for the fall, you have to have your advising hold cleared by your advisor, so make sure you plan to meet with them before your registration appointment time. And if you're interested in summer classes, those courses are open for registration right now, and you do not need to have an advising hold cleared for summer registration. Okay, some new and special topics classes. We have a lot of great things on offer this fall. First up, and these are in no particular order, by the way. First up, though, is Intro to Podcast Production. This is a new class. It will be taught by Stephanie Che, and this, as the title suggests, will be about producing your own podcast. You learn how to write, record, edit, and publish your own podcast. Practicum Journalism is a class we've had for a while, but you should know about it. If you don't, this is a class where you get to write for the Weekly Ringer, which is our student-run newspaper on campus. You'll be participating as a writer, photographer, editor in different roles to produce that newspaper. This class is typically a 1-credit class, but it can also be taken for 2 or 3 credits this semester. So just speak with Sushma Subramanian if that's something you are interested in. We also have a class, Magazine Journalism, also taught by Professor Subramanian, and this has to do with longer form writing and research and investigation to tell longer stories in a different form, a different genre than would fit into a Weekly Ringer type publication. Speaking of longer form stories, documentary film production is another class. This is one taught by Professor Swarzinski about producing your own documentary film. If this is something you're interested in, you do not have to have already taken Intro to Video Production. There are no prerequisites for this, but if you took that class, if you took video production and you thought it was interesting, you want to do some more of it, here's a chance where you could do some more, for you to do some more of that. Okay, now on health communication, this is a class about how people talk to each other around topics related to health. So that would include things like patient and healthcare provider conversations, also things like public health. In this class, you'll learn about how those kinds of conversations go and how to create your own public health information campaign. And in hip-hop culture, you'll learn about hip-hop culture and all the ways that it intersects with and has influenced larger culture. So hip-hop culture will include things like features like MCs and DJs and breakdancing and graffiti. These are aspects of hip-hop culture that have had broader impacts and tell us about those contexts as we look more closely at them. This is Professor Goldman. Creative coding is my class. This is a class where we learn how to do interesting and creative, hopefully, things with computer coding. So it's programming, but programming for fun, basically. Now, AI and Society, this is another new class, and this one's kind of different. It is about AI. This is going to be led by Professor Rao, but as you can see, there are 3 other professors that are going to be participating in this course as well. In fact, there are going to be 4 sections of this one, and it is a little complicated. The schedule is a little bit more complicated than others, so I've got a whole new separate slide about that. The sections will meet individually on several days of the week on their own schedules, but they will all meet together on Wednesday afternoons at 2 p.m. in the digital auditorium. So this will be a hybrid class. The sections that are not that Wednesday after, the time slots that are not that Wednesday afternoon are going to be online, and then you'll be all together in person on Wednesday afternoons at 2 p.m. As you might expect, this is a class where you're going to be learning about artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence, and its impact and its roles in society. This will be a hands-on class, so students will be doing things and creating things with AI and learning and thinking and talking about how to do that well, effectively, and ethically. So it should be a really good class. Okay, so let's talk about all of the classes, and I've broken this down by major requirements to make it easy to navigate, and if you know what requirements you need to work on, this should hopefully help you find those. For the communication core, we've got 6 sections of public speaking, plenty of options, several evening options if you need those, and some during the day if you prefer those as well. 3 sections of small group communication, and we also have 2 sections of Com 340. This is the required class for majors, and Professor Crosby will teach both of those. We also have 1 section of Com 341 on Tuesdays and Thursdays taught by Professor Goldman, this is Comm Research Methods. So 340 and 341, those are required for the major, kind of the upper level part of the communication core. And if you haven't taken those yet, if you are a CDS major, these are the classes you're probably trying to get into if you haven't taken them yet. But hopefully you've got some options there. On the digital studies side, again, we have lots of great options, 6 sections of Intro to Digital Studies, including an evening section. So plenty of options and opportunities to take that class if you still need to. Now you also still need to take one of these other classes, Studio Art 104, Computer Science 106, or 110. These are scheduled by different departments, so I don't have their schedules on this slide, but I do have a way that I can help you find those. I'll show you that in a few more slides. The other classes that you should know about, you have to take at least one 300 level DGST course, and as you can see, we have quite a few. Several of these that I've already talked about, and there's also Intro to Video Production. The capstone, we have one section for the capstone seminar this semester, Tuesday, Thursday, by Professor Goldman. And then for the major electives, as I alluded to earlier, there are a lot of classes that fulfill requirements for our program that are scheduled by other departments. And sometimes it can be hard to know about those because they're somewhere else. Someone else is planning those and teaching those. So I have made a website that can help you find those and help me find those as well when I'm trying to explain them to you. The QR code will take you there. You can type it in as well. This is also linked in our Canvas course. So let me switch over to it in my little thing here. Sorry, this transition's a little rough, but here we go. Okay, so this is it. This is a website that I created that is checking on Banner and trying to create a summary of all the courses that are available that meet requirements for the Common Digital Studies major. Also, guess what? I've got it so it can check out. You can also summarize the courses that meet requirements for the minor in Digital Studies or the minor in Journalism. So could be useful for a lot of people, I hope. For the program, I'll just do Common Digital Studies for now because that's the focus of this video. And it's now looking at the fall 2025 schedule. For each of the different sections of our requirements, you can click on this accordion thing and then scroll down to see what all of the scheduling options are. And you can also see how many seats are available. This is an unofficial summary. It is not necessarily up to date, but it is pretty close. It checks it checks periodically to make sure that the numbers are accurate. And no one has registered for fall 25 classes yet, so these are accurate. All of the seats are still available for all of these. So let's take a look at the major electives. As I said, there's a lot of courses here that are in departments that are not Common Digital Studies. Studio Art, Computer Science, Digital Studies, there we go. What else do we have? English, certainly, History, Music Technology, Marketing. So we have quite a few classes that are in different departments and would be in different buildings. And if you don't know about them, you might not seek them out. So that's what this is meant to help you do. You can learn about different things that are available, and all of these will meet requirements for the Common Digital Studies major. Many of them are also electives for the minor. Okay, back to the other thing. This is back to my slideshow here. Okay, so lots and lots of options. Now that tool, that schedule summary tool, could be useful for all kinds of reasons. I hope that you find it useful. Okay, so once you've started to figure things out, here are your next steps for registering and getting ready to register. First of all, you need to make a plan. So I just showed you one tool that you can use to make a plan. It's this unofficial summary of CDS related options. There is also the official schedule, of course, the actual information from Banner, which you should be able to access and look at as well. There's the URL and the QR code in case you need it. The most useful tool, I think, though, is the DegreeWorks evaluation, which you can find in Banner. I can't link directly to it because you have to take a series of steps to get to it through the Banner interface. But hopefully you know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, please ask your advisor or me, and we can help you figure that out. It is very useful because it looks at your courses that you've already completed and gives you a sense of what you should be working on next. Okay, so once you've made your plan with those tools or whatever else you need, then you should plan to meet with your advisor. You should schedule this soon, and I'm recording this on Thursday, March 13th. You should do this within the next 2 weeks. Your advisor will be in touch, maybe already has been in touch about how they want you to schedule those. It might be online, it might be a sign-up sheet on their door. Whatever they want you to do, please do that soon so that we can have that meeting. We can talk through your plans and then clear your advising hold. And then, once your advising hold is cleared, you're cleared to register, but you still have to wait your turn. And so that's what the registration appointment times are. This is a summary of them. You can also find this on the registrar's page. It is essentially a day at a time per class, seniors first, juniors, sophomores, first years, and that's kind of how it goes. You should definitely try to register on your appointed day, because if you'll notice, they start at 8 a.m., they end at 11:59 p.m. on that day. For people that have 90 plus hours, you're going to be locked out of the system at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, March 31st. you're going to have to wait until the next week to get back in after everyone else has had a chance to do what they want to do with registration. So make sure you take advantage of your time slot. Okay, so those are the 3 steps. Make your plan, meet with your advisor, and then register when it is your turn. All right, as I said, quick note about summer 2025. I'm almost done, but I want to mention summer 2025 because it's right around the corner. In fact, as you can see here, it is time to register. You can register now for any of these courses. And I broke it out by the major. These are several courses available in the Communication Core, the Digital Studies Core, or major electives. In the Comm Core, we've got Comm 205 and 206, Public Speaking in Small Group. One of the sections by Dr. Crosby is a class that has one synchronous online meeting per week. Everything else is asynchronous and online. And in the Digital Studies Core, you've got 2 options for Intro to Digital Studies. One of them is going to be in the May-June term. The other one's going to be in the June-July term. And then there's also Intro to Video Production that Dr. Swarzynski is going to be teaching. That will be the only in-person class that we offer this summer. So that is in person. You do have to be in person. It is a class where you learn how to use the camera equipment, so you have to be here to do that. And then finally, under the major electives, we've got Pop Culture, taught by Professor Goldman, and Argumentation by Professor Hanel. So check those out. If you have questions about any of these, please check with these professors, check with me, check with your advisor. And if you even are kind of interested, you can go ahead and register now, right? It's available. So that's it. Advising notes for fall 2025. Thanks for watching. If you have questions about any of this, check with your advisor, check with me. We're happy to talk to you about all these things, and we're excited for the next semester. So hope you're doing well. That's all for now.